I'm going to be starting the broadcast in 2 minutes. So just hang tight, and we'll be with you for some exciting Quakers football action in their regular season finale. So 155 now, 150, 145, 140, 135, 130, 120, 110, 1 minute, 55 seconds, 35 seconds, 35 seconds, 25 seconds, 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and blast off. Hello and welcome to Red Pride Stadium on the campus of Plainfield High School. I'm Steve McAtee and I'll be bringing you all the action as your 10th ranked Plainfield Quakers challenge the arch rival Martinsville Artesians in week 9 of the Indiana high school football season. Well, after a 5-0 start that took them to number 3 in the AP poll for Class 5A, your Quakers lost for the second time in 3 games last week in a 30-20 road loss to the currently ninth-ranked team in Class 5A, the Whiteland Warriors. The Quakers entered the game at 6-1 and ranked number 7. And though the Warriors were ranked number 10 with a record of 5-2, they entered the game with great momentum, having won their last 4. Plainfield got the Plainfield got the ball first and lost a fumble on the first play from scrimmage, setting up an easy 7-yard touchdown rush for Jordan Palmer with 9:44 remaining in the first quarter. The Quakers came back on their ensuing drive, scoring on a 3-yard rush by Luke Starnes with 4:36 remaining in the quarter, making the score 7-7. With 11:56 remaining in the second quarter, the Warriors scored a touchdown on a 25-yard pass from Wyatt Upchurch to a wide open Peyton Williams, Whiteland's only complete pass of the game and one of only 3 pass attempts from them. The play seemed to catch Plainfield completely off guard, though the extra point failed. Later in the quarter, Whiteland nearly scored another touchdown, but lost a fumble at the Plainfield 6. The Quakers then drove 94 yards and scored on a 3-yard touchdown rush by Starnes, but the extra point failed, so the score was tied at 13-13 with 2:16 remaining in the second quarter. During that drive, a blackout delayed the game for 2 hours and 18 minutes. But on Whiteland's ensuing possession, when Plainfield just needed to take away the big play, the Warriors drove all the way down to the Quakers' 11 and got a 28-yard field goal with no time left, taking a 16-13 halftime lead. That's where the game started slipping away. Whiteland got the ball first to start the second half and used over half the third quarter, scoring on a 9-yard rush by Palmer with 5:23 remaining, making it 23-13. Plainfield threatened to get back in it on a 51-yard pass from Bryce Sabonk to Mason Beers with 9:31 remaining in the fourth quarter, cutting the lead to 23-20. Whiteland punted on their next possession, but on Plainfield's next possession, Sabonk sloppily got rid of the ball under pressure and it was intercepted. On Whiteland's next possession, Upchurch scored on a 1-yard rush with 2:20 remaining, bringing us to our final score of 30-20. In short, Whiteland controlled the tempo of the game and dominated time of possession. Plainfield moved the ball moderately well, but never led, played most of the game from behind, and the lost fumble and the first interception were a killer. Sabonk threw another interception on Plainfield's last drive, but they were virtually out of it by then. Plainfield's rushing defense also struggled a lot, with Palmer rushing 36 times for 249 yards and two touchdowns. Plainfield now has just one more game to tune up for the playoffs, which begin 2 weeks from tonight, as they host the unanimous number one team in Class 5A, the New Palestine Dragons, who are 8-0 and have won 4 state championships in the last 11 years. We'll talk more about that later in the broadcast. But first, let's take a look at the game we're about to play. Tonight in the regular season finale, Plainfield hosts the Martinsville Artesians, who last year got all the way to the semi-state for only this for the, who last year got all the way to the semi-state for the first time in program history. But after being hit hard by graduation and injuries, they entered this game with a record of only 3-5. So far this season, Plainfield has rushed 254 times and passed 226, a ratio of 1.1 to 1. And at that, we will pause for the national anthem. Well, thank you to the Plainfield Marching Band for that lovely rendition of the national anthem. And now let's get back to the pregame. Now, so far this season, um, Plainfield has rushed 254 times and passed 226 times, a ratio of 1.1 to 1. Junior quarterback Bryce Sabans, a second-year starter, has completed 135 out of 226 passes and even 59.7% for 1,559 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, a 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. His leading receiver is the biggest surprise on the team, junior Xander Natam, who has 53 receptions for 729 yards and 11 touchdowns. He's followed by sophomore Cohen Vanderbilt with 19 receptions for 221 yards and one touchdown. Senior Mason Beers with 16 receptions for 160 yards and two touchdowns. Running back Luke Starnes with 16 receptions for 194 yards and one touchdown, and sophomore Austin Ward with 16 receptions for 129 yards and two touchdowns. On the ground, senior and three-year starter Luke Starnes has rushed 18 times for 1,142 yards and 13 touchdowns. He now has 3,666 career rushing yards, only 8 yards behind Zane Fakes for the all-time school record. In addition, senior Corin McGill has rushed 27 times for 109 yards, and quarterback Bryce Sabans has rushed 28 times for 104 yards and one touchdown. Meanwhile, Martinsville has rushed 237 times and passed 190 times, a ratio of 1.2 to 1. Junior quarterback Chase Davis has completed 108 of 187 passes, 57.8% for 1,348 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. His leading receiver is junior Landon Casey, who has 48 receptions for 591 yards and 8 touchdowns. He's followed by senior Jace LaFerry with 24 receptions for 315 yards and one touchdown. Senior Landon Podorf with 12 receptions for 221 yards and 5 touchdowns, and junior Riley Butler with 9 receptions for 95 yards. On the ground, the Artesians are led by senior Lucas Dewey, who has rushed 189 times for 888 yards and 8 touchdowns, followed by senior Grady Gardner with 24 rushes for 173 yards and 2 touchdowns, and a junior Christian Coons with 12 rushes for 60 yards. Head coach for Plainfield is Tyler Bless, who's 21-8 in his third season with the Quakers. Head coach for Martinsville is 42-27. Head coach for Martinsville is Brian Duggar, who's 42-27 in his sixth season with the Artesians. He won his first sectional and first regional last year. Or at this time, we'll take a short break for a few words from our sponsors, and then we'll be back with the opening kickoff. Plainfield Martinsville regular season finale coming at you live under the Friday night lights. Next. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous support of our sponsors. We would like to thank them and we hope you will support them. They are Frigid Frog, New Wave Solutions, Gunnell Financial, Crone Family Construction, Adrenaline Fundraising, Crest Point Real Estate Coach P. Chris Pearson, Selwyn Jones and the Stewart Home Group, Remax Centerstone Julia Berberich, Flora Brothers Painting, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, Units Moving and Portable Storage, Haynes Roofing and Remodeling LLC, Headquarters Barber Shop, Edward Jones Chris Hoskins, Ellison Associates, BGW Construction, and Legacy Motorsports. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Back here at Plainfield, we're just a few minutes away from kicking off this regular season finale. We've got just a little bit of daylight left here in Plainfield. It's currently 68 degrees under a very cloudy sky. We had a high of 73 today here in Plainfield, here in the West Indianapolis suburbs. And a week from tonight, for the opening of the playoffs for the 1A to 4A playoffs, we're supposed to have 64 degrees. Hopefully, in 2 weeks when Plainfield opens and most of the 5A and 6A teams open the playoffs, we'll still have good weather. We shall see. I'm starting to see some lows in the 30s in the forecast, but hopefully the weather will stay good for us. As I said in the pregame segment, in the opening segment, we open the playoffs 2 weeks from tonight, hosting New Palestine. The Dragons are the number one ranked team. In fact, the unanimous number one ranked team here in 5A. They are 8-0, and they've won 4 state championships in the last 11 years. But that does not mean that it's a lost cause. I'm going to explain to you later on in the broadcast why I think we, have a fighting chance in that game. And regardless, it's a great opportunity for the team to keep on moving up the ladder and play, one of the toughest opponents in program history. But a team that I believe that we can win if we bring our A game. And in this game tonight, what I want to see, I want us to see, I want to see, I want us to play our best game of the season so far. We've had a lot of good moments. We've had quite a few great moments throughout the season, but we haven't played a great 48 minutes. We've had a couple of games where we were close. But then again, 2 weeks ago against Franklin, we only scored on one of our first 9 possessions. Last week at Whiteland, we had 2 fatal turnovers on which the game turned, including one on the first play from scrimmage of the game, the lost fumble, and then the interception when we had the ball in the fourth quarter with a chance to take the lead last week. So what I want to see tonight is just 48 great minutes. I want to see us, play this game like we believe that we can beat New Palestine in 2 weeks. We had the tournament draw last Sunday. I really watched, I what was, all season long wondering what kind of draw we would get, hoping we would get Anderson in the first round, and that way we would only have to beat one of the 2 heavyweights in our sectional, the 2 heavyweights other than us, to win the sectional. There were 3 heavyweights in the sectional, us, Cathedral, and New Palestine, and unfortunately Anderson, the 4th team, is a very, very bad team. They will host Cathedral in 2 weeks. We beat Anderson 63-8 last year. my son Liam, very astute, saying that Anderson is going to be destroyed by Cathedral. I'm afraid that's true. I'll be happy if yeah, he and Liam's also reminded me that the last time Cathedral played Plainfield, it was the 2021 playoffs and a game played at the University of Indianapolis, a game that Cathedral won 54-7. And that being said, I was still proud of the kids. That was not a real good team. In particular, we had an underexperienced offensive line that made it very hard for us that year. We went 4-6. Um, but now we've already clinched our fourth consecutive non-losing season and our third consecutive winning season. So we've come a long way since that day. That night again, the way I've summed up for years, all 4 years since it happened, that night down at the University of Indianapolis when we lost to Cathedral 54-7, we went up against a nuclear missile and got the expected result. Um, you know, and we've come a long way up since then. And if we beat New Palestine, I think we have a good chance to beat Cathedral. Of course, New Palestine's ranked number one. Cathedral's only ranked number five in our class. We're ranked number 10th. So if we beat the number one team, it stands to reason we can beat the number five team. So I get fairly optimistic, and I'm certainly very excited about it. And again, we'll be talking more about that later in the broadcast. But first, we have 48 minutes left of football here in the regular season. Plainfield entering the game at 6-2, but ranked. I'm sorry, but having lost two of their last three, they've been ranked as high as number three this year. Um, Now they're ranked 10th. Martinsville, a year after making the first semi-state in school history, off to um, a disappointing 3-5 start this year, having been hit very hard by graduation and injuries. Now they intentionally kicked the opening kickoff out of bounds. That's likely because Martinsville has two outstanding kick returners, each of whom has a kickoff return for a touchdown this year. Landon Casey with a 99-yarder and Grady Gardner with a 97-yarder. So good strategy. Um, one interesting thing with well, I'll hold that thought until I've got enough time to make this point. So anyway, the starting quarterback for Martinsville is Chase Davis. He is a junior. He's put up solid numbers this year, hoping for a banner senior season next year. So with the two receivers to the right, one to the left, handoff there, and they're right on top of him. Um, that was Lucas Dewey. We got him, I think, for no gain there. Dewey coming into tonight, I think got him for -1 there. So two receivers to the right, one to the left. Dewey, the running back, 25 on the 25 on the shot on the game clock. Not quite ready for basketball yet. So now a screen pass is complete. He's got room out on the right side, and he's got to the first down and more. Tackled her on the 50. So so a 13-yard gain there after a 1-yard loss. So two receivers to the left, one to the right for Martinsville have the ball right at the 50. 14 on the play clock. Takes snap, uh, and now gives it to takes 44 yards up the middle. So that'll be 2nd and 6. That was Christian Coons there on the run. So two receivers to the left, now one to the right. Coons the running back. We've got Landon Casey and Jake LaFerry, the wide receivers out to the left. And handoff there to Coons again. He's tripped up, however, only gets about one. Oh, 3rd and 6. So 3rd and 6 for the Artesians at the Plainfield 46, though likely in 4-down territory here. Davis, and he gets rid of it. And I think I think he intended for one of the running backs to grab it, but there was nobody close. So after 13 yards on his first pass, Davis incomplete there. They are going for it, however, on 4th and 6. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Tunes the running back. And now, then they take off running. They took off. Two guys took off running. Casey and LaFerry both took off running before the snap, so that will be 5 yards against Martinsville, and that changes their mind, and now they will punt. So, barring a fake, the Quakers will get the ball here. Ty White is back deep, standing at the Plainfield 14, ready to receive this punt. He already has a 75-yard punt return for a touchdown this season. A very promising sophomore, and a low snap, but he does get it away after a good attempt at the block. And it takes a big Martinsville bounce inside the 15, down to right at the 15. So that will be a 36-yard punt. So Plainfield now will take over at the 15, 9:42. And keep in mind, if Luke Starnes gets only 9 yards, which is extremely likely, uh, he will become Plainfield's all-time leading scorer tonight. He will likely do it here in the first quarter. So three receivers to the right, one to the left. Bryce Sabance, the quarterback here, and take it. Gives it to Starnes over on the left, and he gets up for about two. And by the way, I've been pronouncing our quarterback's last name as Saban. I just learned tonight it's actually Sabance, um, as if there's an E on the end. I believe it's a French name. I'll have to look that up. So Starnes gets three there, so he needs six for the record now. So now two receivers to the right, one to the left. Starnes the running back, Sabance in shotgun. It gives it to Starnes again, and he's up for about two or three more. So it'll bring up about 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. They say 3rd and 5. So Savant's, I'm sorry, Starnes, 4 records shy, 4 yards shy of the record, 4 yards shy of the record. And now we got Mason Beers and Devin D'Amato lined up to the left. Two other receivers to the right. Starnes still in there at running back. Takes it. Savant throws, and it's caught, and he's got it's caught out of bounds for the first down. Let's say 6-yard gain there. And now hands off to Starnes, and he's up for about two or three. He's not going to quite get the record on that one. Starnes gets one there, so he's 3 for 6, 3 yards shy there. Now two receivers to each side, 7:59 to go, 2nd and 9 for the Quakers. Sabance needs 3 yards to become this program's all-time leading rusher. Fakes the handoff now. Sabance throws over on the left side, and it's complete. Uh, He, he makes he makes the catch, gets it outside the 40, pick up about 15 yards. The 16 there. So Sabance completed his first two for 16. For 22, excuse me. So first, so two receivers to each side now. Now it's Saban. Starnes gets it, and now he gets a couple of yards after contact, and I'm sorry, that was a keeper there by Sabans. Excuse me, gets three there. So now two receivers to each side. Starnes the running back. 7:12 to go. Um, and now screen pass complete there to Beards, and he gets past the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, and he's brought down about the 25. So Mason Beards, a pickup of about 29 yards there. He had a 51-yard a touchdown reception last week that gave us a chance against Whiteland. Well, they said he stepped out at the 30. Nevertheless, gain of 24 there. So the Quakers now line up. We've got Ward and Natam to the right, to the left, excuse me, two other receivers to the right. Starnes the running back. Saban struts back and he throws, and he should have had it. He should have had it. That was Devin D'Amato had both hands on it. He's upset with himself. Shake it off, Devin. You'll bounce back. Well, surprisingly, Starnes doesn't have the record yet. I think they're waiting for the right moment for him. So three receivers now to the left, one to the right. Sabanson in shotgun. They got some movement at the line, and we got a flag here. Now, this is one of those times I wish my broadcast partner Rob Kendall was here because he's a lot better at picking out who made the first move than I did. He'd make a much better official than I would. I'm pretty bad about picking anything other than pass interference. So 2nd and 15 now. Three receivers to the left, one to the right. Starnes, the running back, fakes the handoff. Now Savant rolls left. He's he was nearly sacked. Now he rolls right, throws up, and he's got a completion there. I believe that was Natam, and he gets it. I think they're going to give him they give him the first down. It's 15 yards. So already 61 yards for Savants on this first drive. Xander Natam, the most pleasant surprise on this Quaker team this year. 6:49 to go here in the first quarter, game 9 of 9 in the regular season. Plainfield and Martinsville tied at 0. Should be a fairly comfortable win for the Quakers. So two receivers to the left, one to the right. Now hand off to Starnes, and he's up there. He's got the record. He got about 8 there. Whether they will stop the game to commemorate the record, I do not know. Where's the Yeah, they're giving him the recognition. All right, we're getting a very nice deserved ovation from this crowd. So now, and now we did he get it? I didn't see the. Okay, so it's a touchdown reception by Xander Natam. So Natam already with his 12th touchdown reception of the season, and the extra point by Ethan Edwards is good. So you're exactly halfway through the quarter. Your Plainfield Quakers take a 7-0 lead. Sabant completed 5 of 6 passes on that opening drive for 75 yards, capped off by the touchdown. He definitely wants to finish the regular season strong. After those 2 interceptions last week, after only 4 in the first 7 games. Plainfield 7, Plainfield 7, Martinsville 0. And I apologize for my pause there after that last play. The I could not tell from my vantage point what had happened. So now a deep kick and it's fielded about the 6 for up to the 10, 15, 20. Now remember, Martinsville's gotten 2 different guys for Martinsville have scored touchdown reset, have scored kickoff return touchdowns this year. However, it doesn't happen there. They're stopped short of the 25. No, Martinsville opens the playoffs a week from tonight against another mid-state conference team, Greenwood. 2 teams have had disappointing years, and it'll be good for one of them to get a playoff win. And now the plays whistle dead here before the snap. 5:54 to go. So, and now Martinsville, and they throws up the middle. And he's got a completion there for a gain of about 15 yards. That was LaFerry there. With his first reception of the game. He gets up 17 on there. Picks up 17. So Davis just completed 2 of 3 for 30. Now hands off there, and he's got some room on the middle. And let's see, that was he's got a first down and more. That was Christian Coons there. Some really slick moves. Found a hole up the middle. Give him 14 on that one. 2 receivers now to the left, one to the right. Jace LaFerry. Takes snap. And now throws, and now there's miscommunication, and it's incomplete. So 2nd and 10 for the Artesians at their own 46. 7:50 to go here in the first quarter. Plainfield 7, Martinsville 0. Now 2 receivers to the right, one to the left, and now throws. And it's did he make the catch? Yes, he did. For about 6 or 7. No, it says incomplete. I'm sorry. It looked to me like he got it. So Davis has completed 2 of his first 5, but the 2 completions did go for 30 yards. 2 receivers now to the right, one to the left, and now Davis looks to the sideline for instructions. Davis is a junior, taking the taking the torch from the legendary AJ Reynolds as senior standout last year for the Artesians, now playing for Marian University. So now takes the snap, and now at 3rd and 10, and he drops it. He had to dive, but he had a chance. Got both hands on it, just didn't get the grip. Um, Riley Butler was the intended receiver there. So 4th and 10, it looks like the Artesians will punt again. 41 to go here in the first quarter. Martinsville had the ball twice, both times got past their own 45, but both times ended up punting, barring a fake here. A low snap again, and again a good block attempt, and White takes a fair catcher on the 25. So 4:37 to go here in the first quarter. Plainfield had a very good first drive. Um, it was very methodical, not flashy, but very efficient. They moved the ball well. Now let's see if they can do it again. Take an early 2 possession lead and really take charge. So now two receivers, three receivers to the right, one left. They give it to Starnes. He finds some room over the right past the 30, 35, 40, and he's knocked out of bounds. So Luke Starnes, a pickup of about 15, shortly after becoming the school's all-time leading rusher. I have him 5 for 27 now in his last regular season home game, though the Quakers will be at home again tonight. 2 weeks from tonight to start off the playoffs against New Palestine. So now takes the handoff, throws deep. He's got a man open, and it is he threw it into triple coverage, but Ward nearly had it. He still had a chance, but it was off the fingertips. Good effort. So 2nd and 10 for the Quakers. 4:24 to go. 7:20 your time of day. Had really great weather this season. Unfortunately, we made up for that great weather with our bad luck last week with the electricity down at Whiteland. But still overall a very pleasant season. I've worn short sleeves every game this year. We'll see if that holds true for the playoffs. So now hand off to Starnes again, and he's up the middle. He's hit, but gets about 4 yards after contact, picking up about 7. I'm so glad they recognized Starnes and gave him an announcement for making the for setting the record. Lakers now 3rd and 4 at their own 46. Um, got 3 receivers to the left, one to the right. Starnes the running back. Sabants the quarterback in shotgun. Second year as a starter, the junior. So now throws, and he's got the completion past the 45. It's a first down. That was Austin Ward, the very promising sophomore, with his first reception of the game. Sabankas completed 6 of his first 7 to 3 different receivers. He's had 5 receivers this year with double digits in receptions. Much improved passing offense for the Quakers this year. Should be even better next year. So 1st and 10 at the 44. Now 2 receivers to the right. Sabants drops past. Got plenty of time. Throws up the middle. It's a completion inside the 35 up to about the 30. And Tommy White, the defensive and special team sensation, who's been playing more and more offense this year, gets a pickup of 13 yards there. So White, the fourth Quaker to catch a pass tonight. So the Bunts takes it, dodges a sack, rolls left. Now he could rush with it. He throws it up, throws deep, and it's. I think he caught it out of bounds near the goal line. So bring up second and 10 at the second and 10 at the Martinsville 31. If Plainfield gets a two possession lead in this game, they have a firm grip on it. Martinsville very weak defensively. The Artesians giving up an average of 37.5 points a game this season. So now Ward and another receiver out to the right, two receivers to the left. Starnes, the running back. 2:56 to go in the first quarter. Plainfield leading 7-0. High snap, but he gets it up to Starnes, up the middle, past the 25, past the 20. So Luke Starnes with another double-digit gain a few minutes after becoming the school's all-time leading scorer. So the Quakers in the red zone, 13 yards there by Starnes. I have him 7 for 46. Two receivers to each side. And now fakes the handoff, throws in the middle, in the end zone. Did he get it? I think he caught it out of bounds. Okay. So Sabak nevertheless has completed 7 of 10, 96 yards, nearly hitting triple figures here in the first quarter. Second and 10 for the Quakers at the 18. Probably not yet in field goal range. Ethan Edwards, hopefully a year from now as a senior, he will be good enough that we can afford to, attempt field goals from this distance. But hopefully we'll get a touchdown here. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Starnes running back. Starnes gets it, and they're ready for him, and they bring him down for a loss. So Luke Starnes stopped for a loss for the first time in this game, bringing up third and long, and the Artesians will be very lucky if they get out of this drive without giving up a -4. Wow. Yeah, the Artesians will be very lucky if they get out of this drive without giving up any points. It is third and 14 now, and that is one thing without having a great kicker. The Quakers don't, they almost have to get a touchdown unless they're inside the 10 approximately. So three receivers to the right, one to the left. Starnes, the running back, Sabons takes it, looks back, stop time, throws it in the end zone. Oh, just off his fingertips. So it'll bring up fourth down. Going for Ward again. Ward has had two touchdowns here as a sophomore. So fourth and 14. So now Sabons, after going 7 of 8 to start the game, he's incomplete on his last 3. And the Quakers apparently will go for it here on fourth and 14. This would be a 39-yard field goal. Certainly, I have a lot of great memories of the Hagee brothers. Morgan and John both went on to Ball State. Morgan particularly good there. So two receiver. Now we got a flag here. We got a flag. The play whistle dead. 137 to go. Not 237 like the room number in The Shining, but 137. The same room, I guess, on one floor below. So that backs it up to the 27, fourth and 19 for the Quakers here. So let's see here. Three receivers to the right, one to the left for Plainfield. Drops back and now throws in the end zone. He's got a catch. He's brought down around the 12 or so. So that was Devin D'Amato there. Give a 14-yard gain, but they needed 22. Good effort by the Quakers, nevertheless. Sabak now already 110 yards on 8 of 12 passing, and has now completed passes to 10 receivers. I don't know why I said. I apologize for saying that he threw into the end zone. He did not, but they had been backed up so much on that drive. I lost track of how far they were from the end zone. But anyway, Coons there now. Picks up about 6 there. huge. So two receivers, one receiver to each side, excuse me. Now hand off there to Coons again. He's got room on the right side. He's got the first down and a little more. I didn't realize it was quite that much. I knew it was huge though. So now they give him credit for 5. So two receivers to each side now. So disappointing. Plainfield came away with no points there. They got to shake it off and just come back strong and do it next time. Two receivers to the left, one to the right now. Hands off, and now fakes the hand off to Coons, and it is that was so Landon Johnson gets it there on a short pass, picking up about 10 yards there. So two receivers to the left, one to the right. Coons, the running back. Davis with 22 on the play clock, looking over to the sidelines now. So two receivers to the left, one to the right. Takes a snap. Hands off to Coons. He's met at the line of scrimmage. He gets up for maybe 2. So that's going to be a gain of just 1 there. I thought he'd get forward progress at least up for 2. Nevertheless, 2nd and 9 for the Artesians with under 30 seconds to go down the quarter. And now the pass is deflected. He was going for Landon Podorf. Davis 3 for 8 here through the air. And now 3rd and 9. 3rd and 9 there. Two receivers to the left now, one to the right. 3rd and 9 for the Quakers, for the Artesians, excuse me. Now they rush him, and he gets rid of it, and the receiver appeared to catch it, but are they saying that he caught it in time because he dropped the ball? I think they're going to rule it an incompletion, but Plainfield wants a fumble. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't. He looked like he had a grip on it, but he didn't look like he had it long enough to make it count as a touchdown. So 4th and 9 now for the 4th and 9 for Martinsville. 3 possessions, 3 punts for the Artesians here in the first quarter. So Plainfield's defense certainly doing its job tonight. High snap, but the punter gets it away. We fielded it at the 28. White takes it up, but he's brought down right at the 30. We got a flag here. So let's see. They got the officials. Got so about four officials standing here right around the 30, holding on the Quakers. Okay, so that'll bring it back 10 yards. So they're setting it at the 20, so it has the effect now of a touchback. So Plainfield now takes over, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter here. So now the Quakers will start off the second quarter at their own 20. I'll mention the sponsors at the first long dead ball. You deserve it. Your sponsors, I'm so thankful that they, bring you that they bring these games to you and these games that I have the great honor and pleasure of commentating. So two receivers to the left now, one to the right. Plainfield starting off the second quarter with a 7-0 lead. Screen pass complete over to the left. He's got some room, and that's Xander Natom, and picks up. He might have the first down. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. So he got the 10 yards he needed. Natom off to a very fast start here today. Really looking forward to him and to see how he and Sabants do together as seniors, as well as they've done as juniors. So now Starnes takes it, and he gets around the left side for about 2 or 3. Already his ninth carry here of his last regular season home game. Hopefully, he'll shine in the playoffs for us this year. Picks up 3 there. I have him 9 for 45 and even 5 a carry. So now, screen pass. It is that's Andre Ward there. Gets a couple there. He's going to bring up about 3rd and 5. Ward's second reception. The first one was for 10. That was for 2. Two receivers now to the left, one to the right. 2 running backs now. Takes the snap. Screen pass. It's nearly intercepted. He was going for Ward, but Landon Podorf, also a wide receiver for the Artesians, nearly intercepted it. Thankfully, did not. Sabants now 10 out of 15, still completed two-thirds of his passes for 122 yards and a touchdown. So now and oh, there's a fake. Sorry, I got so tongue tied there, but yeah, there's a failed fake. Oh man, disappointment. All right, well, one good thing about it is there's not much chance we're going to lose this game, so it'll at least does show that we are confident in our defense, which has done very well. They've held the Artesians to a punt on all 3 of their possessions so far. So 2 receivers now to the right, one to the left. Chase Davis in shotgun for Martinsville. Low snap, but he gets it. And he throws down the left side, and it's incomplete. Davis, only 3 of 10 to start off tonight. So 2nd and 10 for the Artesians at their own 33. 2 receivers now to the right. In fact, Landon Casey and Jace LaFerry, 1 receiver to the left. Crispin Coons, the running back tonight for the Artesians. Now screen pass, and it's complete, but they're right on top of him, and he gets just right about back to the line of scrimmage. That was Landon Casey with his first reception of the evening. So 2 receivers now to the left, 1 to the right. And now Davis turning back to the sideline for instructions. 14 on the play clock now. 10:03 to go here in the second quarter. Now drops back, gets rid of it, and did he make the catch? Incomplete. So so 1st and 10 now turns to 4th and 10. The Artesians are going for it at the Martins at the Plainfield 33 after taking over after the fake punt. That did not fool the Artesians. Two receivers down to the left, one to the right. Davis in shotgun. Christian Coons, the running back. Takes snap. Drops nearly sacked, and he gets rid of it, and it's intercepted. Intercepted. All right. Ty White, number 3 on the season and number 8 on his career. He catches it on the ground around the 14. So I don't think there's a lot of sophomores in the country that already have 8 career interceptions. Ty White proving the 5 he had last year as a freshman was not a fluke, and he's are already got a punt return for a touchdown, 74 yards to be exact, and a receiving touchdown. So very very versatile player there. So now the Quakers trying to shake off 2 consecutive scoreless drives. They still lead 7-0. Hand off to Starnes, taking over at the 14, and he gets up for about 4. Luke Starnes becoming the school's all-time leading rusher tonight. He did it on the first drive, 2nd and 6 at the 18. Hmm. 2 receivers to each side now. Starnes the running back. Savant's in shotgun. Takes snap. Screen pass. I believe I believe that was Vanderbush, and a helmet came off. So the incomplete 3rd and 6. I think they're saying Vanderbush caught it out of bounds there. The clock stops with 9:15 to go in the quarter. So Martinsville a very critical 3rd and 6, and Plainfield really not wanting to go 3 consecutive scoreless possessions, especially against a team without a very good defense. The Artesians giving up an average of 37.5 points a game this year, and at that Plainfield wisely takes its first time out. They don't want to squander this drive. And at that, we'll take a short pause for a few words from our sponsors. You're listening to Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com. Plainfield leads Martinsville 7-0. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by Frigid Frog, New Wave Solutions, Goodell Financial, Stone Family Construction, Adrenaline Fundraising, Crest Point Real Estate Coach P. Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones of the Stewart Home Group, Remax Centerstone Julia Berberitz, Flora Brothers Painting, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, Units Moving and Portable Storage, Haynes Roofing and Remodeling LLC, Headquarters Barbershop, Edward Jones Chris Hoskins, Ellison Associates, BGW Construction, and Legacy Motorsports. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Plainfield, we're about to resume action with your Plainfield Quakers, 3rd and 6 at their own 18, leading 7-0. Screen pass now, and he's got a completion, but he doesn't get the first. So Xander Natom gets they're saying I thought he gained okay, he gained 4, but he needed 6. Sabanka's now 11 of 17, 126 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. So now the Tucker Mitchell punting for the 3rd time in a row, or second. It'll be 2nd time of the game. We did a fake punt last time. I don't think we'll go for another one here, and indeed we don't. So it bounces around the 43 of Plainfield. Takes a big Plainfield bounce over 20 yards down to the inside the 20 at the 19. So that will be a 59-yard punt there by Mitchell. I believe that's a career long. I'll have to look that up. Nevertheless, Martinsville, despite having a decent offense on the season. They've been largely shut down today. They have not gotten past about the. I don't think they've gotten past midfield. They did get to the exactly to the 50 on their first drive, but they've punted on their first three possessions, then an interception on the last one that had the effect of a punt, as it was 4th and 10. So two receivers to the left, one to the right now. Um, Hand off there to Coons. He's got some room. He gets about 7 there. So Christian Coons, good effort there. 8:40 to go in the, and they give him credit for 8 there. So now the Artesians line up. They've got Jace LaFerry to the right, two receivers to the left. Now, hand off again to Coons, but they stop him. They stop him. He looked like he wasn't sure where he wanted to go. They stop him right around the line of scrimmage. So bringing up a big third down, third and short for the Artesians. No, they said he got it. I didn't think he did. They said he got the 2 yards he needed. I apologize there. Two receivers to the left now, one to the right. Coons then there at running back. They give it to Coons again, and he's got some room at the left side. Breaks through a hole, and he gets about 6 or 7. So Coons, getting something going here for the Artesians. And again, like with Franklin a couple of weeks ago, we're just letting him stay close too long. And we're not going to be able to get away with that 2 weeks from tonight against New Palestine in the playoff opener. And now, and Gurley tripped up in the backfield on a reverse. I believe that was Casey there. Three-yard loss there on Casey's first rush of the game. That's the first rush for Martinsville for anyone other than Coons. And now now at a very critical 3rd and 6, and I believe Martinsville has just taken their first time out. Okay, there's a flag I didn't see, so it's coming back 5 yards. So 3rd and 6 turns to 3rd and 11 here. 7:05 to go here in the second quarter. Plainfield 7, Martinsville 0. Regular season finale. Three receivers to the right, one to the left. Snap. Now it throws up the middle, and it is caught. It's going to be right around the first down marker. It's going to depend on the measurements. Yeah, they give it to him. They said he got the 11 that he needed. Jace LaFerry with his second reception of the evening. LaFerry with his second reception. First one went for 17, that for 11. So two receivers now to the left, one to the right. Martinsville is the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 39, 6:27 to go in the quarter. And now hand off there to Coons, and he gets about 3 or 4. Minimum 3 yards there. So Coons averaging right around 4 a carry. Midway through the second quarter now. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Big snap. Throws over to the right side. It is complete. No, they said he didn't get the. They said no. Intended. So that'll bring up 3rd and 7. Davis has only completed 5 of 14 so far. So three receivers to the right, one to the left for Martinsville on a very big 3rd and 7 here, and they blitz him. He throws up the middle, and he's He's got the first down. He dives for it. I think he's got the first down and one more. That was Landon Potorf with his first reception of the game. So give him credit for 7 there. So first and 10 Martinsville at the 49. Their best sustained drive of the game so far. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Handoff now to Coons, and he gets right around into the 50. They might give him forward progress out up to the 49. Give him credit for 1 there, bringing it up to the 50. And Coons now with 50 yards by my count on 13 carries. 4:47 to go. 7:48 your time of day. We very well could be in the locker rooms before the half. So two receivers to the right now, one to the left for Martinsville, trying to stay in it, trailing 7-0. Now fakes the handoff and he throws it and he gets it for about 5 or 6. Picks up about 5 there. So that was completed to Coons after faking the handoff to him. So now hands off there to Coons. He got some room on the right side past the 45, past the 40. He's got the first down up to about the 38. So he takes it from the 47 to the 39, an 8 yard pickup, an 8 yard pick there by Coons. First and 10 for the Artesians at the Plainfield 39, the best field position they've had all game. 4:05 to go here in the second quarter. So three receivers to the left, one to the right now. Davis drops it back. He throws up the middle. He's got a man open, but he puts too much on it. Puts too much on it. He would have had, first down and much more had he gotten it. He was open there on the right side. The second and 10 now for the Artesians at the 39. Two receivers now to the left, one to the right. And now fakes the handoff, and he throws so it's nowhere close. He was going for LaFerry, who got tangled up with the man defending him. So bringing up very critical fourth and 10 now for the third and 10. Excuse me, that was second down, so it's third down now. Davis only 7 of 18 through the air. Two receivers now to the left, one to the right. Coons the running back. Martinsville with their best field position of the game now. Hands off there to Coons. He's got a little bit of room, but he's going to be far short of the first down. Picks up about 3. Already his 15th carry of the evening. Fourth and 7 now at the 36. Two receivers now to the left, one to the right. The Artesians going for it on fourth and 7, 3:19 to go in the quarter. And now they're down to 8 on the play clock. They might want to take their timeout here. They still have 2 timeouts left, 3, 2, 1, and then they take the timeout with 1 second left. I guess their strategy is that they just don't want Plainfield. They want Plainfield to have as little time as possible. When they do get the ball back, 2:52 to go now in the second quarter. Plainfield 7, Martinsville 0. Once again, the Quakers just not finishing drives. They're just not finishing drives. Um, they got the opening drive, took it all the way in, and now the clock's going back to 3:02. But they scored easily on the opening drive. It wasn't a flashy drive, but it was a very solid, efficient drive. Since then, um, all punts except for one failed fake punt. They've got to do better than that. Um, they're, I will say defensively, they played very well today. The Artesians come into this game averaging a very solid 25.5 points, um, although giving up 37.5. We've held them scoreless, and this their current yard line, the Plainfield 36 is the best field position they've had all game, and it's 4th and 7. So all we got to do is stop them from going 7 yards, and we can likely keep them from having the ball the remainder of the half, unless we score, which hopefully we will. So now, pass up the middle, and it is. Did he catch it? He bobbled it, and it fell to the ground incomplete. So the Quakers take over on downs at their own 36. So now 2:57 to go. The Quakers still with a timeout left. Martinsville gets the ball first to start the. I'm sorry, Plainfield gets the ball first to start the second half. So it'd be great if we could get a touchdown here and then get another one, start the second half, take a 3 possession lead, and put this thing away. So now the Quakers starting off the next drive, 2 receivers each side. Sabans takes it. He's got him. Oh, he just put too much on it. Um, and now we got a late flag. We got a late flag. I think they're going to get Martinsville for a late hit, which will be 15 free yards to us, which we can use. That would move the ball from the 36 to our 36 to their 49. Roughing the passer. All right. All right. Quakers still in this. I mean, they're still in this drive. Obviously, they're in the game. They're leading, even though I wish it were by more. 7-0. Your score. 2:51 to go in the quarter. So I got one receiver to each side, 2 running backs now. Takes the handoff, and Starnes gets up for about 3 or 4. Just past, he gets up to about the 47 or so. So they only give Starnes credit for one there. I have him 11 for 50. 2nd and 9 for the Quakers at the Martinsville 48, 2:20 to go. Still got a timeout left. 2 receivers to the left, nobody to the right. 2 running backs now. Now Starnes shifts left, takes a screen pass, and he drops it. He drops it. He drops it. So bring up 3rd and 9 now. So now the Quakers likely to pass here, meaning that if they don't get this first down, there's a very big chance that Martinsville will get another possession here, with a decent amount of time and 2 timeouts. So now 2 receivers to the left, one to the right, fakes the handoff, and Sabans throws it, and he makes the catch. But did he get in bounds? Yes, he did. That is Andrew Natom. Wow. I could not see his feet from my vantage point, but the official is giving him, or did he say, oh, illegal man downfield, so it's coming back. Never mind. All right. Well, all right. Well, there goes that. So 3rd and 14 for the Quakers now. Three receivers to the left, one to the right. Sabans throws deep. He's got him. He's going for. Oh, oh. Is not close to anybody. I couldn't tell if he was going for Natam or White. So 4th and 14, the Quakers apparently will punt again. Doubt they'd go for a fake in this situation. As a fan, I'd kind of like to see it, but anyway, the Quakers now 4th and 14 at their own 47. But you know, if we lose to New Palestine in the playoffs 2 weeks from tonight, and I hope we don't, and we might not, I give us a fighting chance in the game, as I'll explain later. But and now, I the punt is fair caught at the 24. So Martinsville with 151 and two times outs. 1 minute 51 seconds and two timeouts to go 75 yards. Oh, disappointing first half for Plainfield so far. They do lead. They do lead. I mean, and the program's come a long way when when we're disappointed, even when we're leading. But yeah, I know they can do better than this. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Um, and now and now Davis throws to Johnson. He makes the catch just past the first down marker and gets out of bounds quickly. Davis has completed only 8 of 19 passes tonight, picks up 12 on that one. It's the second reception to Johnson. First was for 10. That was for 12. So now, pass it is complete there to Casey. Picks up about three or four. He's brought down immediately. Already, Davis has thrown 20 passes. Sabans has thrown 19. So Sabans has thrown 19. So Casey with 2 yards there, making it 2nd and 8. So now throws up the middle, and he's got a completion past the 45, past the 40, and now he's to about the 39, from 139 to the other. So back-to-back receptions by Casey. They're going to give market at the 40, so means it'll be a gain of 21. But nevertheless, the Artesians finally starting to catch fire on offense. Still with two timeouts left. 104 to go in the second quarter. Clock still ticking. Fakes the handoff now, and Davis throws deep down the left side, and he's got it inside the 10. So all of a sudden, a passing explosion there by um, by the Artesians. That one for 31 yards. So that one by Johnson. And wow. So the Artesians in the red zone for the first time. They never gotten past the 36 prior to this possession. Now they're at the 9 with 56.2 seconds to go in the first half, trailing 7-0. The Artesians at 3-5, but they do have a very winnable first round playoff opponent in Greenwood, who's only 2-6, and who Martinsville beat in the regular season 38-20 back in week 2. So that is a very winnable game, and once you start off the playoffs, with a win, it can make you feel like a new season. And even if they lose this game, if they play close, that would be a moral victory for the Artesians, who are trying to recover from a slow start after um, being hit very hard by graduation after that run to the semi-state last year. So now hands off to Coons, but they're ready for him, and I don't think it's anything at all. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. The clock's still ticking. The Artesians still have two timeouts they have not used either, and they're giving them credit for actually -1. They're so 2nd and 10 now. Still not using the timeouts. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Now handoff once again, and he's got some room on the right side, up the middle, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Wow. So Coons, um, on his 17th carry of the game, gets his first score, and the Quakers are in this game. Wow. So they're an extra point away from tying it. And the snap, low snap. The kick is up and it is good. And just like that, we are tied with 26.6 seconds to go. And remember, we do get the ball first to start the second half, but this is not where I wanted us to be at this stage of the game. Not at all. 26.6 seconds to go in the second quarter. Your score, Plainfield 7, Martinsville 7. This is a game where Plainfield should have at least a 2, if not a 3, or maybe even 4 possession lead here. Following a 10-yard rush there by Christian Coons. Wow. Well, Quakers will get the ball, I would imagine, unless they get something good on the return. I don't think they'll try. I don't think they'll make a big effort to score here. But we'll see. A game like this, they might try something crazy. So now, and a deep kick, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. Look around the conference right now. Whiteland leading Greenwood 27-0 in the second quarter. Decatur Central leading Franklin 14-3 in the second quarter, and finally Mooresville leading Perry Meridian 14-7 in the second quarter. Oh, so now we've got Warden, another receiver out to the right, another receiver, one receiver to the left, two to the right. Starnes the running back. Sabant's in shotgun. Takes it and hands off to Starnes, and he's got a first down and more, and he gets out of bounds around the 35. So good clock management. 6 seconds, 15 yards, gets out of bounds, save that timeout. So Plainfield playing like they really want to finish the first half on a positive note. So Starnes now 12 for 65 by my count. And now fakes the handoff. And now Zabant's got time, and he throws deep. And it's intercepted. It's intercepted. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. So, and I think they started saying he stepped out at the 46. I couldn't tell if he made the catch and bounce or not because the Plainfield, it's on the near sideline, and there's some Plainfield's players standing in the way so that I can't see the sideline. I can't see the out of bounds line from my vantage point. So I apologize for that. But yeah, Sabant's not the kind of mistake you want to see from him in the last game of the regular season. We still got 2 weeks to tune up for the playoffs, but this, this is a concerning performance tonight. So Martinsville with two timeouts and 11.2 seconds to go, and now it's screen pass. Oh, and he dropped it. He dropped it. So good break for the Quakers. Of course, they would have only gotten about 5 yards, and they would have needed to use the timeout. But I'm glad they didn't get any yards there at least. No, the receivers to the left, one to the right, and now a screen pass. And they're going to bring him down right around the line of scrimmage, and they're going to have to use a timeout. So Casey again, and Martins for Casey for a reception for no gain. So when we resume play, uh, Martinsville will have the ball first and 10 at at the Plainfield 45 with 1.7 seconds remaining in the first half. Game tied at 7. Like the last home game 2 weeks ago, Plainfield just way too many missed opportunities on offense tonight. Way too many. Got to do something. We got to do something, big in the second half. This would be a very big disappointment and a very bad way to go into the playoffs if we were to lose this one. Now, Davis drops it back and he throws deep, and it is intercepted. And all right, that was Tayshawn Callahan, his fourth interception of the season, and our so even though he didn't come close to running it back for a touchdown, he was run out of bounds around the 35. Yeah, I like the spirit he showed there. That we need that kind of spirit going into the locker room, that kind of enthusiasm. So now, after one half of play here tonight at Plainfield, your score. Plainfield 7, Martinsville 7. We'll be back with a first half recap and some other stuff after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. Broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous support of our sponsors. We would like to thank them, and we hope you will support them. They are Frigid Frog, New Wave Solutions, Gunnell Financial, Crone Family Construction, Adrenaline Fundraising, Crest Point Real Estate Coach P. Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones and the Stewart Home Group, Remax Centerstone Julia Berberich, Flora Brothers Painting, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, Units Moving and Portable Storage, Haynes Roofing and Remodeling LLC, Headquarters Barbershop, Edward Jones Chris Hoskins, Ellison Associates, and BGW Construction and Legacy Motorsports. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Plainfield, we're at halftime with this concerningly close game. In fact, it's as close as it could possibly be. Your Plainfield Quakers and the Martinsville Artesians tied at only 7, even though Plainfield came into the game ranked number 10 in their class with a record of 6-2. And Martinsville coming in at only 3-5, and having particularly struggled on defense. Um, Plainfield has been struggling to finish drives as they did 2 weeks ago in their last home game against Franklin, in which it was 7-0 until the final minutes of the third quarter. And anyway, Plainfield got the ball on their after Martinsville punted on their first possession. Plainfield got the ball. Plainfield got the ball and drove methodically down to the field and scored easily on a 14-yard touchdown pass from Bryce Sabance to Xander Natam, his 12th touchdown of the season, and Sabance's 19th touchdown pass of the season. However, Plainfield, on all of its remaining possessions in the half, punted except for one failed fake punt and an interception. Meanwhile, after Plainfield's defense did a very good job, Martinsville finally got in business on a 31-yard pass from Chase Davis to Landon Johnson that brought the ball that brought the ball from the Plainfield 40 to the Plainfield 9, the first time that the Artesians had gotten past the 36 all game. And then later on that possession, Christian Coons ran it in 10 yards for a touchdown, and the extra point brought us to our current score of 10-10, or 7-7, excuse me. Sorry about that. Look at the individual statistics. First of all, for Plainfield, Bryce Sabance um, has 11. Bryce Sabance has completed 11 of 20 passes for 126 yards, one touchdown, and one interception. Um, his leading receiver, not surprisingly, Xander Natam, who has six receptions for 58 yards and a touchdown. Then, in addition, Austin Ward has 2 for 12. Mason Beers 1 for 29. Uh, Devin D'Amato 1 for 14, and Ty White 1 for 13. On the ground, Luke Starnes has rushed 12 times for 65 yards. In the course of doing so, he has become Plainfield's all-time leading rusher, passing Zane Fakes. Bryce Sabance has rushed 1 time for 1 yard. Meanwhile, for Martinsville, Chase Davis has completed 11. Chase Davis has completed 11 of 23 passes for 107 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Um, his leading receiver is Landon Johnson with 3 receptions for 53 yards, including a 31-yarder that set up the touchdown. In addition, Jace LaFerry is 2 for 28. Um, Riley Reuter is 1 for 13. Landon Podorf is 1 for 7. Christian Coons, the running back, 1 for 4, and Landon Casey is 1 for 7. I'm sorry. Yeah, Landon Casey. I'm sorry, is 3 for 2, and it's not a mistake. Three of Martinsville's receivers who've caught a pass tonight, 3 of the 6 are named Landon. So I apologize for any confusion that causes. On the ground, Christian Coons is leading seven. Christian Coons has 17 rushes for 67 yards and one touchdown. Meanwhile, Landon Casey has one for -3. Well, I asked my son Liam just now if there's any pizza left because I'm very conscious about not hogging it. So I just took a few slices to start, make sure there's plenty for everybody, and now at halftime I figure if there's still some left, it's okay to take more by then because uh, okay. Thank you, Liam. Thank you very much. Um, So anyway, like I said last week, pizza is a holy sacrament to me. So I'm very grateful to Plainfield for providing it. And speaking of being grateful, when I arrived here tonight, you know, I assume that most of you have never been in the press box here at Plainfield before. Um, anyway, it's divided into 3 sections. There's a small section to the left and the right, and then a big section in the center. Um, they reserve the small section at the left for me. They've had me different places in the press box over the years, but this week they just reserved this part for me, and I greatly appreciate that. There's room enough for me and for my son Liam, who always goes with me to these games and always posts about them uh, on his Instagram page. What's your Instagram page, Liam? Liam is for the win. That's Liam, like Liam Neeson, and then US at the end. So Liam us for the win. Is that all written as one word? All written as one word. So if you want to follow him there. He posts mainly about elevators, but also no, okay, his elevator posts are on elevator.dude, and he posts other stuff, more personal stuff. He posts about movies on the Liamus site too, right? Is Liamus your personal page? Liamus for the win. Yes, he posts about movies, posts about Plainfield football, a lot of other stuff. But anyway, so I arrived in that section, and I saw this shirt that was lying there, and I thought it was to reserve it for somebody else. And there was a note to it. It says, "Thanks for another great season as the voice of the Quakers." And so they gave me a new shirt. It's been 2 or 3 years since the last one, so glad to have a new one. I mean, I still love the other one. I still wore it with a lot of pride. I arrived wearing it, here. But then when I saw I had a new one, I went to the restroom and changed. So thanks to the Quakers' gracious staff. I mean, the pizza enough would be alone, but adding the chart and the very beautiful note, um, very very emotionally moving moment for me there. So thanks again. It just reinforces how much I love being part of the Plainfield family, and this is my 14th season here, and hope for many more. As long as you keep asking me to come out here, I will keep doing it. Keep taking that drive up and down US 70, and always excited when I see exit 66 to the Quaker Boulevard exit. And now I'm looking at um, the Plainfield marching band here. Very impressive. I was because I wasn't good enough to be on the football team or any of the sports teams when I was growing up in high school. I settled for the marching band down at Madison, my alma mater, where I graduated in 1989, and so seeing this marching band performance brings back a lot of great memories for me. And speaking of my alma mater, Madison, I'm glad to see they finally got their first win of the season last week, excuse me. Last week, when I talked about, how whenever I'm frustrated by how Plainfield is doing, I think about my alma mater because they, entered this game tonight, last week, excuse me, with only 40 points on the season and a record of 0-6. Last week, they scored 37 points in beating Corridon Central. So that was hopefully a sign the program's turning a corner. They actually went 6-5 last year, got all the way to the sectional championship game, lost only by 1 point. Lost by 1 point the night that Plainfield lost to Decatur Central for the sectional championship. But their head coach their head coach is only in his second year, so hopefully he'll get a turnaround. Hopefully he'll get it turned around. My dad was actually on the um, on the first Madison team of the modern era back in 1960, and he's still alive, still a healthy 82-year-old, and uh, occasionally drops in on these games. And I don't think he's here tonight, but he's probably listening. You know, Back in the old days, he would have been getting ready right now to watch Dallas at 9 o'clock on CBS. But now these days, he spends a lot of his Friday nights in season tuning into the Quakers. So anyway, right now with 4:25 to go on the halftime clock, let's take a look at what the other Hendricks County teams are up to. Um, Browns. We'll start in 6A. Brownsburg remains at number one with a record of 8-0 after last week's 42-7 win over Noblesville. Tonight they host the 10th ranked team in Class 6A, the Hamilton Southeastern Royals, who entered the game at 5-3. Also in Class 6A, Avon is ranked number 12 after last week's 14-7 win over Zionsville. That improved the Orioles to 4-4, which is their first four-win season in 5 years. In fact, they've won 8 games total the last 4 years before this one, so they've gotten half that number this year. Um, and tonight, they host 1-7 Noblesville. A win will guarantee that the Orioles will break a streak of 4 consecutive losing seasons. Also, now, sorry, that was it for Class 6A. Now in Class 4A, Danville is 4-4 after last week's 29-23 win over Lafayette McCutcheon, the Mavericks. Tonight, um, the Warriors visit Cardinal Ritter in West Indianapolis on the campus of Marian University, that beautiful stadium out there. Um, I've I've attended the stadium before, but never actually commentated there. Um, Number three, in Class 3, excuse me, in Class 3A, Cascade remains at number three with a record of 8-0 after a 46-0 win over previously undefeated Southmont. Tonight, the Cadets visit 5-3 Western Boone. The Stars won 3 consecutive state championships from 2018 to 2020, but they've cooled off a little bit since then. With a win tonight, Cascade will have its second consecutive undefeated regular season. And finally, rounding out the county, also in Class 3A, Tri-West is number 11 after last week's 42-13 loss to Bishop Chatard, the number one ranked team in Class 4A. Tri-West is now 6-2. Tonight, the Bruins visit 5-3 Beech Grove in South Marion County. Well, and now we hear "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi. One of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life. And keep in mind, I'm 54 years old. I remember when that song came out in late autumn, early winter of 1986, became a very huge hit early in the pop metal or hair band era. When those types of bands were just starting to dominate MTV, and that is still my favorite Bon Jovi song. It wasn't pure metal. There were hints of progressive rock and just standard standard '80s AOR arena rock, lavishly produced by Bruce Fairbairn, who produced the big Loverboy albums of the early '80s. And you know, I remember I've seen Bon Jovi twice in concert, both times in Indianapolis in 1993 at the late Market Square Arena, in 2000 at Market Square Arena's successor, Gainbridge Field House, I believe it's called now. I lose track of all the corporate names, but anyway, I remember when I saw them in '93. I remember the late Jeff Healey was opening. He was, I think he won it. I think he was a one hit wonder with Angel Eyes. But anyway, Bon Jovi played a great show, and then I remember they came back for the encore, and John Bon Jovi walked up to the microphone and he started singing unaccompanied the bridge of the song. We got to hold on to what we got. It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not, etc. And after a few words, the audience figured out what he was doing, and they started singing along. And then we got to the chorus. Then John stopped, and the entire audience sang the entire chorus. And I thought after that how it would affect me, because I've taken a stab at writing songs. I've taken a stab at writing songs. Heck, I actually released an album back in 2007 under the name the Lex Zorn Project, and I wrote all the songs on there except for one. I did a cover of the old Kansas classic "Play the Game Tonight," but it occurred to me, if I wrote a song and I heard 15,000 people singing it back to me, it's hard to overestimate the effect that would have on me. I think it would be a very, very deep emotional effect. So, um, anyway, a lot of great concert memories from my youth. I used to just go to concerts like crazy in the latter half of my teens and throughout my 20s into my early 30s. I'm 54 now, and now I don't go to concerts much anymore. I've only been to two in the last 15 years. I saw Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, who just died a few months ago, um, back in 2017 at the Barats downtown, um, because I was invited by a friend. Actually, we had VIP tickets, so I actually met Brian, as well as the two Beach Boys in his band that night, Al Jardine and Blondie Chaplin, his two former Beach Boys bandmates who were with him in his backing band. And then last year, I took my son Liam out to the state fair to see Dogstar, a '90s alternative rock band whose bass guitar player is um, actor superstar Keanu Reeves. So that was a lot of fun. But I look back at it. I don't miss going to concerts. Sometimes traveling many hours to do so. Um, that's not to say I won't still occasionally go to a concert. I probably will, but it's just not a big priority with me anymore. But even though I don't miss it, I don't regret it either. And I have a lot of great memories of those days. I still maintain friendships with a lot of the people who I went to concerts with and who I would meet and hang out with at concerts. And, for some people, their wild youth was alcohol binges. For me, my wild youth was going to concerts. So I would much rather take that wild youth, believe me. Um, so anyway, 44 seconds left, and now Martinsville taking the field to start the half. Plainfield does get the ball first. It's important that we start strong. So I hope to see 48 minutes of great football tonight. Hopefully, at least we'll see 24. Hopefully, we'll treat this like the beginning of the playoffs, which start 2 weeks from tonight against the unanimous number one team in the class, New Palestine. More on that in the post-game segment. Just stay tuned with me, and I'll give you a preview of that game. All right. So now, just finishing up the pizza that Liam brought me, the few extra slices. Liam, you think we'll go to McDonald's after the game after this? Goes into the end zone for the touchback. I think I'll just go to McDonald's to get a Coke after the game, and we'll see if Liam wants something too. It's a good place to hang out though, and I can see the Golden Arches from here in the press box, and the opening kickoff of the second half goes into the end zone for the touchback. So let's go, boys. Plainfield with the ball, tied 7-7. They scored on the first possession. A lot of squandered opportunities since, and just like against Franklin a couple of weeks ago. So now, hand off to Starnes. He's got some room up the middle. Gets about 6 or 7, so good start to the drive. You know, we can be methodical. It's okay. I have Starnes now 13 for 72. He became Plainfield's all-time leading rusher tonight, 2nd and 3 for the Quakers. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Sabance, the quarterback, in shotgun, takes it, gives it to Starnes up the middle. He's got the first down and about 3 or 4 more. Got about another 6 or 7 there. Luke Starnes, I'll tell you, we have so many guys on our team who are college prospects right now. If they give Starnes credit for another 7 there, I have him 14 for 79. But we have so many guys now, and hold that thought. We got Beers out to the right, 2 receivers out to the left. Starnes, the running back, Sabance in shotgun. Hands off to Starnes again, and he gets up for about another 5. So Starnes possibly trying Starnes possibly hitting a stride here. 10:50 to go, and they give him credit for 6 there. So Plainfield opening the drive with 3 plays, all rushes by Starnes, picking up 20 yards, using nearly a minute and a half of the clock. So good start. Hands up to Starnes again. Why not? This time they're ready for him. They meet him around line of scrimmage, but he does plow his way up for 2 or 3, so it's going to be 3rd and short. And the clock keeps ticking. So 2 that time. So 4 rushes to start the second half by Plainfield. All four plays to start the second half by Plainfield. All rushes by Starnes combining for 22 yards. Well, we got to get 2 here to move the chains. So here we go. Here we go again. We give it to Starnes again. He's got the first down and more up past the 50. It's gain of about 10. Starnes closing in on 100 yards. So the Quakers give him credit for 9. So I have Starnes 17 for 96. And now they give it to him again, and he's got some more room past the 45 up to about the 43. So it's going to be about 2nd and 4. We'll see exactly where they spot him. Okay, they give him credit for 5. So and now it's Starnes again, 7 carries in a row, and he plows his way forward, and he's got the first down and about 1 more. All right. I think we're trying to wear him down now by just the hurry up formation and giving it to Starnes again. So Starnes now has carried it 7 times in a row to start the half, gained 46 yards. I'm sorry, gained gained 42 yards now. Hand off to Starnes again, and this time he gets up for about 3 or 4. And now he gets a couple more after it looked like he was down. So 8 in a row to start off. This could be a game-changing sequence here. So Starnes has taken us 47 yards now in 8 plays, nearly 6 a carry, far more than the 3.4 you need to keep the chains moving. Now 2 receivers to each side now. And now, so this time finally a pass to Natom, but they're ready for him and they bring him down for a loss. They bring him down for a loss. So I give the Artesian defense a lot of credit. They were ready for that after 8 consecutive rushes by Starnes to start off the half. So Natom now with his 7th reception of the game, even though it's for negative yards. No other Quaker has more than 2 receptions tonight. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Now handoff again. No, fakes the handoff, and now he gives it to Natom on a reverse, and he's brought down. So 2 consecutive plays now for the Quakers were losses by Natom, one on a rush, one on a pass. So that is not a good turn of events. Maybe they should have just gone with what was working. Nevertheless, the Quakers apparently going for it. 4th and 8 now at the Martinsville 46. That'd be devastating after starting off the drive so well to squander this golden opportunity, even though they have consumed more than a fifth of the half on the drive. 7:18 to go and counting. Game still tied at 7. 2 receivers to each side now. Savant takes it, throws up the middle, and it's caught, and he's got it for the first down, and he's out of bounds. All right. I believe that was D'Amato there. It's very hard to yeah, it's Devin D'Amato. Picks up 9. Devin D'Amato wears 9. Natom wears 8. So 1st and 10, Quakers at the 27 gets up to Starnes. Hit it, near the line, gets up for about 7. But Savant's, so 6 there by Starnes. I have a 21 for 118 now. Still no touchdowns here in his last regular season home game on a night in which he did become the school's all-time leading rusher. So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Quakers have used nearly half of the quarter here on this drive. Hand off to Starnes. This time they meet him and they bring him down for a slight loss. Starnes' 10th carry on this drive, the first one in which he did not gain yards. See where they mark him. No, they're giving him forward progress back to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 4 for the Quakers. 6:04 to go and counting. And there we are now at the exact halfway mark. So, boy, that'd be great if we could combine the milking of the clock with the score here. So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Sabank takes it, drops it back, plenty of time, throws into the end zone for Natom. Touchdown! 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 That's number 2 on the game, number 13 on the season for Xander Natom and the Quakers. Quakers breathing a little easier now. All right. All right. So Sabank's 20th touchdown pass of the season. Xander Natom now 8 receptions, 77 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ethan Edwards on the extra point is up and now good. So your Quakers have overall a very good drive. 10 rushes by Luke Starnes, setting up a 21-yard touchdown pass from Bryce Sabance to Xander Natom. and Ethan Edwards bringing us to our current score of 14-7. And by the way, we used over half the quarter to do it, making it even better, giving them less time to come back. All right. So now the Quakers get ready to kick off. Ethan Edwards averaging just under 50 yards a kickoff with 2 touchbacks on the season. His kickoffs have gotten progressively longer. Looking forward to hopefully a banner senior season from him a year from now. And he caught it. I couldn't tell if he made the catch in bounds or not, or if they're going to say it went out of bounds. He caught it. Um, you know, he did catch the ball, but I couldn't tell if he was standing in bounds when he made it or not. It's very close. Wow, they said he made the catch and then stepped out. So big blunder by Martinsville, and they start the drive only at the 6. Now we got to take advantage of this. Maybe get a safety like we did a couple of weeks ago against Franklin, our first safety and only safety so far of the season. So now 2 receivers to the left, one to the right. Coons, the running back. Coons gets it, and he's brought down for a gain of maybe 1. Coons, the only Martinsville score of the game, coming late in the second quarter. Looks like they're marking him down for no gains. So 2nd and 10 at the 6. Same formation now. Uh, Davis now looking over to the sideline as he's done a few times tonight. 22 on the play clock, 5:10 on the game clock and counting. Makes the snap, fakes the handoff. Now throws over to the left side, but they brought him down for a short loss. All right, all right. Um, so Christian Coons, I'm sorry, that was Jace LaFerry. Jace LaFerry, they bring him down for -3. In 3rd and 13 at the 3. So very critical play for the Artesians. And now fakes the handoff, throws over to the left side, and he's got and he breaks the tackle. He's got the first down to more past the 20, past the 25, and knocked out of bounds. So LaFerry recovering from that 3-yard loss with a very big conversion on 3rd and 13. So I give the Artesians all the credit in the world when it looked like they were down and out. Picks up 23 there. LaFerry now 4 for 29. Three receivers now to the left, one to the right. Gives it to Coons, and he's got about 5 there. Give him 4 on that one. I have him 19 for 71 and a touchdown. So now we've got the ferry out to the right again with one receiver to the left. Coons, the running back. Davis in shotgun takes it, hands off there to Coons, and he gets up for about 3. It's going to be 3rd and short. Coons has rushed 20 times now, picks up 3. They're bringing up 3rd and 3. The Artesians already converted on 3rd and 13 at their own 3. This would seem to be a much easier 3rd and 3 at their own 34. 3:21 to go and counting in the third quarter. Plainfield 14, Martinsville 7. Quakers should have put this away by now, but too many missed opportunities once again. And this time they give it to Coons, and he's going to be a little short, bringing up 4th and very short. Well, they give so 4th and 1 now. They are going to go for it. Very high risk play at their own 35, 2:47 to go, and they might. It wouldn't surprise me if they took a timeout here. 15 on the play clock. Davis looking um, toward the sideline for directions. Under 10 now. Now 5, 4, 3. Fakes it. Fakes the handoff. Rolls right. Throws it, and he gets it. And it's a short reception for the first down. Picks up about 2 or 3. That was Podorf there. So he picks up. I think they said measurement timeout. I can't imagine. It looked to me like he clearly made it, but let's see here. Nevertheless, high risk move by the Artesians, but probably a decision I would have made, especially the way the Quakers milked the clock like a cow on the first possession of the third quarter. Let's see. So they did get it. They did get it, like I thought. So 8:44 your time of day. Your Plainfield Quakers should have already, they should be at least 3 touchdowns ahead now. As it is, again, a lot of missed opportunities, but they did come through on their last drive to get the lead back. 2 receivers to the left, one to the right. They hand off there to Coons. He's got some room, and he breaks the tackle and gets up about 5. Coons 22 carries. And he's not a big guy, 5'7", 165. Give him forward on that one. I have him 22 for 80 and a touchdown in this game. 2 receivers to the right, one to the left. Coons, the running back, big stand off to Coons. Now throws deep down the left side. And it's going to be pass interference, so it looks like against the Quakers. So that'll be 15 free yards for the Artesians, moving them from their 40 to the Plainfield 45, 133 to go here in the quarter. And it probably was the right call. I try to call it both ways, I have no credibility if I don't call, if I'm not honest when I believe that my team has committed a penalty. I think that was the correct call. So now LaFerry, wide receiver, out to the right. KZ and Johnson to the left. Coons, the running back. Davis in shotgun, 133 to go. First and 10 Artesians at the Plainfield 45 now. Gets the snap, throws deep down the right side, and it is out of bounds. It is out of bounds. By my count, Davis 14 for 27 through the air now. He's only completed one deep pass all night. That was to Landon Johnson that took them from the Plainfield 40 to the 9, setting up the touchdown rush by Coons. So far, the only Martinsville score of this game. 2nd and 10 now at the 45. Plainfield trying to hang on. They lead 14-7. Now hand off there to Coons, and he's up for 1, maybe 2. Lucas Dewey, Martinsville's offensive leading rusher, apparently out tonight, and Coons only gets 1 there. Nevertheless, Coons has done a solid job replacing Dewey. So now handoff there. It takes the snap, throws up the middle, and it is badly overthrown. So that'll bring up a very critical 4th and 9 for the Quakers. for the Artesians, excuse me, on this drive. They've converted on 3rd and 13 and 4th and 1, moving it all the way from the six, from their own six to the Plainfield 44. So they moved exactly 50 yards on this drive. Now 47.1 seconds to go in the third quarter. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. It's been a very tense crowd tonight. And now takes the snap, rolls left, throws downfield. He's got a man open. Did he make the catch? Did he get it? Yes. I believe that was Landon Johnson again. And he picks it. Apparently, the officials are deliberating, but apparently he did make the catch. So, yeah, they're saying yes. So 23 yards from Landon Johnson on 4th and 9, bringing it from the 44 to the 21. Now got an injury timeout. Somebody on the far side of the field is down. I cannot tell who it is. So with that, we'll take a quick pause for some words from our sponsors. Um, you're listening to Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com. Your score with 40.8 seconds to go in the third quarter. Plainfield 14, Martinsville 7. Broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to thank them, and we hope you will support them. They are Frigid Frog, New Wave Solutions, Ganell Financial, Crone Family Construction, Adrenaline Fundraising, Crest Point Real Estate Coach P. Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones and the Stewart Home Group, Remax Centerstone Julia Berberich, um, Flora Brothers Painting, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, Units Moving and Portable Storage, Haynes Roofing and Remodeling LLC, Headquarters Barbershop, Edward Jones, Chris Hoskins, Ellison Associates, and BGW Construction and Legacy Motorsports. Well, back here at Plainfield, we're about to resume play after the injury timeout. The injured player was Ty White of the Quakers. He's walking off the field now groggily, but under his own power, which is very good to see. He's one of our best players, a very promising sophomore, 5 interceptions last year as a freshman, 3 this year as a sophomore. So 8 already for his career, and who knows how many more he'll get. So now Martinsville starting off, and now he throws it away. So 2nd and 10 for Martinsville at the Plainfield 20, following that 24-yard pickup there. Now we got a penalty there against. Okay, they're going to count an intentional grounding. Okay. So that means that the ball will be placed back to the. So he was standing back at the 30 when he threw it. So that means they lose 10 yards. Okay. So it's a good break for the Quakers here. 22.3 seconds to go in the quarter. Plainfield trying to hang on for the win. So 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now fakes the handoff. Screen pass is complete. Past the 25. And that he's going to be about 3rd and 15. And Podorf there got it. 10 seconds. They are trying to get in formation for another play. 7 seconds. I don't know if they will get it or not, or how urgent they are. 2, 1, and that's it. So, your Plainfield Quakers trying to hang on, for the next 12 minutes to end the season with the victory. They lead your Martinsville Artesians 14-7 here on audiosportsonline.com. We'll be back with the tense conclusion broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to recognize them, and we hope you will support them. They are Frigid Frog, New Wave Solutions, Gannell Financial, Crone Family Construction, Adrenaline Fundraising, Crest Point Real Estate Coach P. Chris Pearson, Selwyn Jones and the Stewart Home Group, Remax Centerstone Julia Berberich, Flora Brothers Painting, I-70 Record Service and Garage, Units Moving and Portable Storage, Haynes Roofing and Remodeling LLC, Headquarters Barber Shop, Edward Jones Chris Hoskins, Ellis and Associates, BGW Construction, and Legacy Motorsports. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Plainfield, we're about to start the fourth quarter with your Plainfield Quakers leading the Martinsville Artesians by a score of 14-7. Martinsville now has the ball, 3rd and 14 at the Quakers' 24. 12 minutes to go. The take snap, drops back, throws into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Good coverage. Good coverage there by Tashawn Callahan on his 4th interception of the season. The senior also he also had an interception return for a touchdown 3 weeks ago at Decatur Central. So the Artesians going for it, 4th and 14 at the Plainfield 24. They've used about 6 minutes on this drive. So now 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Throws into the end zone, and it's overthrown. So the Quakers take over on downs. So now let's just milk the clock like a cow. I didn't think at this point in the game we would be in a point where we would need to milk the clock like a cow, but we've had such a hard time sustaining drives and finishing off drives that I think we just ought to do what we did. I mean, on our first and previously only possession of the half here, we gave it to Luke Starnes 10 times. He gained positive yards, 9 of them. So a receiver to each side now. Starnes the running back. Starnes gets it, and he gets up for about 7. Starnes, a very good final regular season game. Gets 7 there. Moving up from the 24 to the 18. And the clock keeps on ticking. Gives it to Starnes again. This time he's met her on the line of scrimmage. He plows forward, but doesn't get much. It's going to be short of the first down. It's 24th carry of this game. 11:15 to go. And give him credit for just 1. I have him 24 for 126. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now 2 running backs in there, I believe. That's Corin McGill there as senior. And now gives it to Starnes. He's got the first down and maybe a yard more. So we move the chains. And the clock keeps on ticking. First and 10 now for the Quakers at their own 35. 10:51 to go here in the quarter, in the game. Plainfield 14, Martinsville 7. The game should not be close, but Plainfield's still trying to close out the regular season with a win. So 2 receivers for the right, 1 to the left, 2 running backs. Give it this time, and he's got a first down and more. Past the 50, past the 45, 40, 35, 30, 25. So Luke Starnes a gain of about 40 yards. It looks like it was going to be a short one, but he spinned around, powered forward, and he's got us on the brink of what would be a nearly insurmountable 2-possession lead. 40 yards there, 26 for 169. So, he's added now about 160 to Zane Fake's record. So, and who knows, how much he'll add on to it. I hope he gets to 4,000 or more. It depends on how far we go in the playoffs. But anyway, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff now to Corin McGill, the senior, playing his final regular season game, who's had some good moments down the stretch. And keeps the clock moving, gives him 4 there. So a solid game by McGill, who's had a quietly effective senior season as Starnes' primary backup. So now we've got Natom and Ward lined up to the right, or to the left, excuse me. Mason Beers to the right. Had a 51-yard touchdown last week at Whiteland. McGill and Starnes in the background in the backfield. Excuse me, gives it to McGill again. This time he just gets about one. Bringing up about 3rd and 5. Yeah, 3rd and 5. So two for 5 for Corin McGill. 9:24 to go and counting. Mason Beers lined up to the right now. 19 on the play clock. And now we've got Ward and Ward and Natom lining up left. Natom 2 touchdowns tonight. So now fakes the handoff. And it's a bunch. And now it's a dangerous. That was tipped very high, but thankfully falls to the ground incomplete. Sabance had 2 interceptions last week, 1 tonight. You don't want to go up. Don't want to go into the playoffs against New Palestine with 4 interceptions in your last 2 games on the season. 20 touchdowns, 1 interception, nearly a 3-to-1 ratio. So now the Quakers will have the ball, 4th and 5 at the Martinsville 20. With a 7-0 lead. 3 receivers now to the left, one to the right. Starnes the running back. Sabance in shotgun. 7 on the clock. On the play clock. 4-3. And now the snap. Sabance has got time. Throws up the middle. And it's bobbled. It's bobbled and dropped. Oh no. Had the receiver hung on to it, he would have been very close to the first down. Would have had a good chance to get it. That was Natom, who has 8 receptions for 77 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight. Touchdowns of 14 and 21 yards. So the Artesians now trailing only 7 take over at their own 20. Same effect as a touchback. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now hands off there to Coons, and we are on top of him, almost bring him down, but he finds some room and gets up for about 6 or 7. So Coons closing in on 100 yards, and the clock stops. 8:41 to go. There's a flag on the play though, so looks like it's gonna be coming back. Holding against Martinsville is a good break for the Quakers. I haven't talked much about the crowd tonight. This is our smallest crowd of the season, though it's not bad. Probably in large part because of fall break here at Plainfield. So now 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Coons gets it, and it's for his first and 20 from the 10. Coons gets about 5. It's going to be obviously far short of the first down. They can let him. They can afford to let him have a few yards on something like that. They give him credit for 6. I have Coons 24 for 87 and a touchdown now. So second, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now throws up the middle, and not sure who he's going for, but it was not close to anybody. Davis now, I have him completing 16 of 33 passes, 158 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. $7:59 to go now. very big 3rd and 15 for the Artesians, and he throws over to the sideline. Did he get it? I could not tell from my vantage point. Yes, he got it for about 12. Still short of the first. That was Johnson again. He's coming with some big ones, but it's going to be 4th down though. 4th and 3 at their own 27. So will they go for it? Well, the punting unit is in, but we'll see. It could be a fake. You never know in this situation. Artesians trailing by 7 with 7:52 to go, and if the Quakers get the ball, they're certainly capable of milking it. And Plainfield has just taken its first time out with 7:52 to go. Wow. Well, let's take a look now at what else is going on in the Mid-State Conference. Decatur Central, they got a running clock going, leading Franklin 41-3. Whiteland already over. They finish their games very fast because they hardly ever throw. Um, well, they finish their games fast that aren't delayed because the electricity went out like last week. But anyway, they beat Greenwood tonight 41-7. The Woodmen finished the regular season at 2-7. They will host Martinsville to open the playoffs week from tonight. So a couple of mid-state conference teams going against each other, and then Mooresville leading Perry Meridian 28-14. So now the after the Quakers timeout, uh, the we're back to action here. The punting unit is on the field. Low snap, but he gets the punt off. Bounces at about the 40 up to the 35. Takes a little bit of a Martinsville bounce, so that'll be a punt of about 38 yards. The Quakers will take over at their own 35. 7:43 to go. Let's go, boys. Just milk the clock like a cow. Well, so your Quakers now, two receivers to the left, one to the right. Um, Luke Starnes, the running back, could get 200 yards here tonight. Hands off to Starnes, and he's got past past the defenders up until about the 43. There was he broke through a wall around the 40, got up to about the 43, so it's going to be 2nd and short for Plainfield. Give him 8 on that one. So 2nd and 2 for the Quakers at their own 43, 7:13 to go and counting. Let's keep milking the clock. Keep moving the ball on the chains. Two receivers to each side now. Gives it to Starnes. He's got the first down and more up to about the 46 past midfield. Starnes giving us a sample of why he is the school's all-time leading rusher as of tonight. Broke the record on their first possession. I have him 28 for 183 tonight, though no score yet. So two receivers to the left, one to the right. Fakes the handoff to Starnes. Now Savant's got plenty of time. He throws up the middle. And no. What are they counting it? No, okay, yeah, Sabank. I thought he had gotten rid of it. No, he was brought down for 7. For so to bring up 2nd and 7 at their own 42. 6:08 to go and counting. So three receivers to the right, one to the left. Certainly a disappointment, though. We we're still in the driver's seat. We just have to finish here. So now Hand off there to Starnes, and he gets up and he breaks through, and he's got the first down and more past the 40 up to about the 37. That's a gain of about 20 yards by Luke Starnes. Boy, that was huge. And that puts him over the 200-yard mark. What a way to finish his regular season career. But he still has unfinished business. Wait, we've got a flag, and I think it's coming back. I'm sorry, I did not see the flag. Yeah, it's holding against the Quakers, so it will be coming back. Yeah, definitely disappointing that we have not a great crowd, but again, yeah, fall break probably, is the main reason, especially for the lack of students here. Hopefully, a lot of them are listening now. So anyway, second and 27, 5:38 to go. Let's milk as much of the clock as we can, get as many of those yards back as we can. So now two receivers to the right, one to the left. Throws up the middle, and it should have been intercepted. It bounced off Ward's hands, and it looked like none of the. There were about three Martinsville guys within an arm's reach of the ball, but it looked like none of them were prepared for it. Wow. So the Quakers dodged a bullet on that one. Nevertheless, third and 27 at the 32. Probably the best thing here, assuming that Martinsville is just trying to take away the big play, try to get 10 or 15 yards and then get a good punt and pin them deep. 5:29 to go. Plainfield leading by 7. Sand up there to Starnes. And it looks like he trips. He only gets about 5. Disappointment there. Quakers can let the ball, the Quakers can let the clock go after 5 yards by Starnes. I have him 29 for 188. Um, Martinsville has all three timeouts. I think the Quakers are going to, hope that they, use all of them. Under 5 minutes now, the Quakers still have 16 on the play clock. I think they're going to let it run down very close to 0. No, they do it with about 10 left. It's a high kick there by Mitchell. Bounces at the 42 up to about the 40. Takes a little bit of a Plainfield bounce up to the 35. So not a real good punt. About 28 yards there by Tucker Mitchell. 4:35 to go. The Artesians taking the ball. All three timeouts. 4:35 to go. 63 yards for the tie or for the win with the touchdown of the 2. So two receivers to the right, one to the left. Davis got time, throws up the middle. He's got a completion there to Podorf. He's got the first down, a little more, about 14 yards there. So good start to the drive for the Artesians. Yeah, they give him credit for 14. Podorf's fourth reception. God, that's a hard name to say. So first and 10 at their own 49. Now Davis throws it, and it's over his head. And oh boy, there could be a late hit there. It was intended there for LaFerry. He was hit a split second after the ball went over his head, but no call. You just never know, when that's going to be called and when it's not. So now, second and 10 for the Artesians at their own 49. 4:07 to go in the game. Martinsville with 3 timeouts, Plainfield's 2. So now, handoff there to Coons. He gets about 4 or 5, bringing up about third and 5. Under 4 minutes to go in the game now. They give him credit for 4, bringing up 3rd and 6. I have Coons 25 for 91. He has the only Martinsville score of the game. That made it 7-7. The Quakers have since come back to regain the lead at 14-7. 3:40 to go. 2 receivers to the right. Now, they on a trick play, they've given it to LaFerry on a short pass. He started off as a wide receiver to the right, then um, met Davis in the center of the field, took a lob, but he didn't get much, if anything. So it's they're saying no gains. So 4th and 6 now, 3:04 to go. And I wouldn't be surprised if Martinsville used a timeout here. Under 3 minutes to go, 14 seconds on the play clock. And so they don't use the timeout. 3 receivers to the right, and they throw, and they've got him open for, and he breaks the tackle. That's 30, 25, 20, and it spins around up to about the 16. And now the Artesians in the red zone. Wow. That's a 37-yard pickup there. 2:37 to go. That crazy room in The Shining, and this has been a crazy game here. 1st and goal for the Artesians at the 16, trailing by 7. 2:24 to go, still with all 3 timeouts. Now handoff there to Coons. He gets about 4, and we got a flag here. We got a flag. That, by the way, that 38-yard reception was by Landon Casey. His first 3 receptions went for only 2. So anyway, 2 receivers. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. And now it throws into the end zone. And it's incomplete. It's incomplete on 1st and goal at the 8. I think Martinsville fans wanted a flag, but did not get one. There is a flag. I didn't see it. The 1st and goal at the 8 for the Artesians. It's 1:57 to go in the game. They trail by 7, and this is going to be against them. So that's a big goal. Big, only 5 yards, but still takes it back from the 8 to the 13. I did not think the game would be close at this point. So now, and now a handoff there to Coons, and he's tackled for about 3, so it'll bring up 2nd and about 4. It was um, so it was showing 1st and goal, 1st and 7 at the 13. A very unusual number there. A very, very unusual series of numbers. I mean, so now 2nd and 4 at the 10 for the Artesians. Coons, I have 26 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. 2nd and 4 at the 10 now. Hand off there to Coons again. They meet him at the line of scrimmage. He might have gotten it. He plows forward. I think he does have it now on second effort. My son Liam, with the 1:13 to go in the game, already down. I think getting ready to get a good picture of the scoreboard for his for his page, for his Instagram post on the game. So they say he got it 5 yards up to making it. They say he got 5 yards, making it first and goal at the 5. 103 to go. First and goal at the 5 for the Artesians. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Plainfield by 7. Now hands off there to Coons, and this time they're ready for him. They stop him for a gain of just about 1. So they give him credit for 1 there. So surprisingly, the Artesians have not used one of their timeouts left. Second and goal at the 4 now, and now we stop him. Okay, we stopped him for a loss here. So now I think they're going to use their timeouts. Yes, they do with 28.2 seconds to go. So a very tense finish coming up. Most of the games that Plainfield has played this year, by this time, it was a foregone conclusion who was going to win. In a couple of games we were in a running clock, but now there's serious drama because this could go either way. Wow. So they stopped Coons down for -2, bringing up third and goal at the 6. 28.2 seconds to go in the game, barring overtime. Barring overtime, of course. Your score: Plainfield 14, Martinsville 7. Um, Looks like we've had about 1,000 people here tonight, including about 150 Martinsville fans who made the trip from about 30 miles southwest of here. So there we go. Martinsville has two chances to get 6 yards. They still have two timeouts left, so they have the freedom to work the whole field. Two receivers to left, one to the right. Fans stomping on the bleachers here on the Plainfield side. So now it's thrown to the end zone, and it's no good. Casey, the intended receiver. So they'll bring up 4th and 6. Now, so the Artesians, everything hinges on this play. They have two timeouts left, but okay, anyway, two receivers to the left, one to the right. Coons, the running back. Davis in shotgun. I think they're going to take a timeout here. Yes. Okay. So here's the status. Let me catch my breath. Your Plainfield Quakers have once again they've missed a lot of opportunities tonight. Um, and they've let Martinsville hang in there far too long. The Quakers scored on the first possession, making it 7-0, but then did not score again for the remainder of the first half. Plainfield's defense did play well. Martinsville struggled to get the ball into Plainfield territory. Finally, late in the second quarter, came through and tied it. Then Plainfield came out red hot in the second half, got a quick score, but there's been no more scoring since. And the Artesians now have the ball 4th and goal at the 6, 23.5 seconds to go. So the whole game will hinge on whether, Martinsville gets 6 yards. And then if they do get the touchdown, the question is, will they go for the tie or will they go for the win? Will they go for the 1 or the 2? The fans have been very tense here tonight. Now stomping on the bleachers, encouraging the defense. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Now they rush in on Davis. Yes, yes, they blocked the pass. Plainfield is going to hang on for the win. They're going to hang on for the win. Um, this is going to be our least satisfying win of the year because it should not have come down to the final play like it did. But there is at least a sense of relief. And now we have 2 weeks to try to polish our rough edges and get ready for a new Palestine. But your Plainfield Quakers, nevertheless, will get a win over Martinsville tonight. A heartbreaking loss for the Artesians, trying to finish the regular season on a positive note. They gave a good effort. They were up against a very good defense, but without their leading rusher, that was tough. So now one kneel down, and that will be it. Assuming that Martinsville does not use their timeouts, which I assume they won't. So your Plainfield Quakers getting a nice ovation for, and Martinsville has taken a timeout apparently. And the thing is, Martinsville could stop it one more time, but then after that, Plainfield could kneel it out. Now, it could be that Martinsville will try to come across and make a legal maneuver to induce a fumble. Not likely, probably 1,000 to 1 shot, but anyway, for those of you just joining us, Plainfield leads Martinsville 14-7, 15.9 seconds to go. The Quakers have the ball, 2nd and 11 at their own 5. Um, Martinsville, um, yeah, they're trying to induce the fumble, but to no avail so far. Well, they use another timeout. They have a timeout left, 8 seconds left. They're not using it so far, and now they're walking off the field. So your Plainfield Quakers, not it wasn't pretty, and really, it was underachieving. But they do finish the regular season with a win, albeit one that shows a lot of need to improve things until it shows the need to improve a lot of things between now and the start of the playoffs 2 weeks from tonight, when the unanimous number 1 team in our class comes to town, the New Palestine Dragons. We'll have a recap and a look ahead to that playoff game after these final words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous support of our sponsors. We would like to recognize them when we hope you will support them. They are Frigid Frog, New Wave Solutions, Ganell Financial, Kroon Family Construction, Adrenaline Fundraising, Crest Point Real Estate Coach P, Chris Pearson, Selwyn Jones, and the Stewart Home Group, Remax Centerstone, Julia Berberich, Flora Brothers Painting, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, Units Moving and Portable Storage, Haynes Roofing and Remodeling LLC, Headquarters Barber Shop, Edward Jones, Chris Hoskins, Ellison Associates, BGW Construction, and Legacy Motorsports. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Plainfield for a final time tonight, we were Plainfield Quakers have just gotten a less than inspiring win to close out the regular season, beating the Martinsville Artesians only 14-7. Um, it's a game in which Plainfield started both halves very well, but other than that, the usual story: moved the ball fairly well, like they did 2 weeks ago against Franklin, but just did not finish enough drives and let the opponent hang in there way too long. And tonight, um, it nearly cost us the game. Um, After Martinsville punted on their first possession, the Quakers scored on a 14-yard touchdown pass from Bryce Sabance to Xander Natam. Um, However, that would be their last score of the half after Ethan Edwards hit the extra point. Plainfield's defense did play very well throughout the first half, in fact, throughout the game. But late in the second quarter, Chase Davis completed a 31-yard pass to Landon Johnson, moving the ball from the Plainfield 40 to the 9. That set up a 10-yard touchdown rush by Christian Coons, and the extra point tied it at 7. Plainfield got the ball first to start out the second half, and they ran the ball very well. Um, the first 8 plays of the drive were rushes by Luke Starnes, some of which came in hurry up mode. Um, he moved the ball very well, 46 yards in those 8 plays. However, then the Quakers, after trying after trying to catch Martinsville off guard, they tackled Xander Natam for losses on two consecutive plays, once on a rush, once on a pass. However, then the Quakers did come through on a 4th and 9 at the 36, completing a pass to Natom, and that set up a 21-yard touchdown pass to Natom. That after Edwards' extra point brought us to our final score of 14-0. The Quakers, the rest of the game, continued to move the ball well, but just did not finish off drives. Um, Even when getting deep into Plainfield, into Martinsville territory, of course, lacking a strong kicker, the Quakers don't have the luxury of going for field goals. That is part of the problem. But then part of it is just not capitalizing on opportunities and letting Martinsville hang around too late. Tonight, the Artesians, on their last drive, drove all the way to the Plainfield 6, and got as far as the 4. However, um, then then Coons was sacked for two. Well, Coons was brought down for a loss of 2 yards, and then the game ended with 2 incompletions. Um, and then Plainfield ran out. Plainfield knelt out the remainder of the clock. So anyway, look at the individual statistics. First of all, for Plainfield, Bryce Sabance, a solid but not spectacular game. He completed 24. He completed 14 of 26 passes for 154 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Xander Natom, once again the leading receiver. He had a very good game. 8 receptions, 77 yards, 2 touchdowns. Then Devin D'Amato had 2 for 23. Austin Ward 2 for 12. Mason Beers 1 for 29. Ty White 1 for 13. On the ground, Luke Starnes 29 rushes for 188 yards. In the course of doing so, he did become Plainfield's leading rusher. He only needed 9. He only needed 9 yards to do that, so now he's the leader by 179 yards, according to my count. Corin McGill had 2 rushes for 5 yards. Xander Natom 1 for -1, and Bryce Sabank 3 for -1. Meanwhile, for um, for Martinsville, Chase Davis completed 20 of 41 passes for 222 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. The leading receiver was Landon Johnson with five receptions for 89 yards, followed by Landon Casey with 4 for 40. Um, Jace LaFerry with 5 for 29. Um, Landon Podorf with 4 for 28, and Riley Reuter with 1 for 13, and Christian Coons with 1 for 4. On the ground, Coons led the way with 29 rushes for 200. He on the ground. Christian Coons led the way with 29 rushes for 98 yards and 1 touchdown, and Landon Casey had 1 for -3. So, in conclusion, this was a game in which Plainfield um, did not play badly by any means. They just, again, the offense is just not seizing the opportunities, um, and that's the totality of it. If they can start finishing drives, they have a shot against New Palestine 2 weeks from tonight. If they only finish off 2 drives, then they're probably going to, probably have, a tough loss by a big margin. Um, the defense is very good, especially the passing defense. Um, the rushing defense was overwhelmed last week at Whiteland, like a lot of rushing defenses are. But we, did a good job containing Coons tonight. We held him to just about 3 yards a rush. Um, he did get the touchdown, but he had to work very hard for the yards that he got, and we really stuffed him at the end when it counted. Um, stopping Martinsville on that last drive. Um, this was only our second close game of the season. The first being Harrison back in week 2, and that's a game that we also our defense came through to hold the lead for us at the end. And it was another 7 point win, like tonight was. But it's you know um, we're just going to have to work our butts off over these next 2 weeks. Um, just working on finishing drives, just polishing up things, so you can create opportunities to get those extra few yards, or polish it off so that you have fewer passes that are slightly off, and just the little things. Looking at this team for 9 weeks now, there are no big problems with this team. There's just little rough edges. And if we polish those, then I think we can beat anybody in Class 5A. But if we don't polish them, you know, there are a lot of teams in 5A that will beat us. Case in point, we nearly lost to a 4A team tonight that ended the regular season at 3-6. So, um, you know, now we have 2 weeks until we play again. We have next week off. I will actually be on vacation next week. I'm going. Um, this is going to be my first full-fledged vacation in 13 years, believe it or not. Only my second in the last 23 years. Now that my kids are older, I'm looking back to getting into the traveling world that I embraced. You know, throughout my 20s and into my early 30s. I'm going in a circle down to Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, and back home, back home again to Indiana, and then I'll be back joining you all 2 weeks from tonight. But looking forward to my time on the road, and anyway, if you all are looking for something to do a week from tonight, we do have three Hendricks County teams who have their playoff openers. One game will be played here in Hendricks County. Danville, who entered tonight's game at 4-4, will have what should be an easy win over Indianapolis Shortridge. Then Cascade will go into Indianapolis to visit Indianapolis, Washington, a very bad team. Cascade should get an easy win there. And then Tri West will be out at West Vigo near Terre Haute, a very bad West Vigo team, who in fact entered tonight's game at 0-8. So the Hendricks County teams should all get win. The three Hendricks County teams who play next week should all get easy wins. And then of the other two Hendricks County teams who opened the playoffs 2 weeks who opened the playoffs 2 weeks from tonight, Ben Davis, having a rare off year, will visit Avon. Should be a win for the Orioles. And then Brownsburg will also likely get a playoff opening win as they visit 3-5 Pike. That leaves Plainfield. I would hate for Plainfield to be the only team in the county not to get a playoff win this year. But they do have the toughest opponent, and that is the New Palestine Dragons, who um, will visit Plainfield. So we do host the game. Um, now, New Palestine on the season is 8-0. They've won 4 state championships in the last 14 years. Um, and they've they're currently ranked number one in the AP poll in Class 5A. They have all 10 first place votes. So they look. And I just learned that they won their game tonight, so they finished 9-0. But when you look at their schedule, you realize that maybe they're not quite as invincible as as their record would suggest. Um, their preseason their two pre-conference opponents, Kokomo, a 5-8 team, but they finished the season 3-6. Um, and then Decatur Central. They did beat Decatur Central 28-6. Obviously, an impressive win, although that was back in week 2, the week after Bo Polston's injury, where the Hawks were trying to revamp their offense. So that game comes with sort of an asterisk. Then they played their Hoosier Heritage Conference opponents. 4 of them are Class 4A teams: Yorktown, Mount Vernon, Pendleton Heights, Greenfield Central, Shelbyville, Newcastle, and then tonight a 3A team, Delta. Won all of those games, won some by big margins, but generally against weak teams, like Delta, who they beat tonight, a 3A team, finished the season at 3-6. Newcastle, who they beat 70-0 last week, 2-6 going into tonight. Shelbyville, who they beat 65-3. Um, was 4-4 going four. Though they finished the season regular season at 4-5. Greenfield Central, who they beat 49-0, 4-4 going into tonight. Um, and Pendleton Heights, a good team at 8-1. That was a closer game, but still an easy win for New Palestine, 42-6. Mount Vernon Fortville, 71-0 win for New Palestine, but Mount Vernon a 0-9 team this year. And finally, Yorktown, um, 7-2 team who New Palestine beat 35-10. Hope I didn't confuse you all too much. But anyway, New Palestine is about a 2-1 rush pass team. Their starting quarterback coming into tonight, a guy named Jacob Davis. He is a senior. Um, Thrown an even 100 passes, completed 71 of them. Obviously, a very impressive 71%. Um, not for a ton of yards though, just about 150 yards a game, 1,258 yards for the season. But get this, 16 touchdowns, only one interception. So obviously a very smart, efficient player. So a guy who's not likely to make mental mistakes that will you know give us a chance to take advantage. Um, he doesn't have any superstar rushers, but he has four rushers who have between 200 and 300 yards. Three of them are juniors. Landon Maddox has 13 receptions for 296 yards and four touchdowns. Junior Mason Oglesby, 21 for 284 and four touchdowns. Junior Cale Butler, 16 for 280, 16 for 280 and three touchdowns. And senior Cameron Rollison with 11 for 210 and two touchdowns. On the ground, um, they do have a senior star. They do have a senior superstar rusher in Caden Jacobia, um, who has rushed 57 times for 698 yards. That's 12.2 yards. 12.2 yards a carry. We better be ready for that guy. Also, 10 touchdowns to his credit on the season. Um, and then another senior, Jacob Davis, has rushed 64 times for 539 yards. That's 8.4 yards a rush and eight touchdowns. Then a junior by the name of Cade Stevens has not carried as much, 16 times, but he's rushed for 197 yards, 12.3 yards a carry and a touchdown. And then Josh Rains, a senior, has rushed 23 times for 180 yards and four touchdowns. And finally, um, Ryder Gardner, a junior, has rushed 21 times for 173 yards and two touchdowns. So that's a handful. Um, we are going to be a tougher opponent than they're accustomed to facing. After what Whiteland did to us with their rushing attack last week, I am nervous about this, but my hope is that we'll keep them under control, that we'll spend these next 2 weeks watching game tape of them, figuring out how we can stop them, how we can contain them, force them to sustain long drives, take away the big play, and then when we're on offense, just make sure the timing isn't off on the passes. Don't have any passes that are just a few inches off. Make sure you're just ready to nail every pass, every rush, and if we do both of those things on offense and on defense, I think we have a shot to stay in the game, keep it close, and be in position to get the upset. I really do. I wouldn't say it if I didn't think so. If I didn't believe that these kids were capable of doing it. These kids they've had a lot of good moments and a good number of great moments this year, but they haven't played a full great game yet. Hopefully they will 2 weeks from tonight. If they do, we've got a shot. Um, I think this team is going to be better next year than this year. The only question is, will we have a rusher to step in and do something relatively close to what Luke Starnes has done to occupy teams' defenses, to open more doors for our receiving core, which is going to be a lot better once Sabankas had an extra year with it with some of these guys, Ward, Natom, Vanderbush, and the others. But you know we're 7-2. We have some very good victories, and even tonight, though it wasn't a great victory, we did make the plays that counted in the end to hang on. And after when you have 2 weeks to regroup, you can improve a lot. And having 2 weeks to look at game tape of this number one team, New Palestine, I think that gives us a better chance. So I don't know what kind of weather we're going to have. Hopefully, at least 50s, if not better. But whatever kind of weather we have, I hope all of you will get out here tonight. I think we had, about, between 1,000 and 1,500 tonight. We've usually gotten right around 2,500, 3,000 this year. It was, affected by fall break tonight. But 2 weeks from tonight, it's Halloween. I understand that some of you have kids trick or treating, but I hope that most of you will be out of will be out here to support these kids, to fill these bleachers, to let them know that you believe they can beat the number one team in the state. And so, right now they're playing the song "Loving Every Minute of It" by Loverboy. That was a big hit in this country in the autumn of 1985, 40 years ago when I was 14. I actually saw Loverboy on that tour in Louisville, Kentucky, with the Hooters opening up. But anyway, hopefully we'll be loving every minute of it 2 weeks from tonight, and I hope that that coach Bless, has some good motivational tactics. Makes the kids watch the Rocky movies, especially those training montages, and just has these kids fired up and ready to play. Um, we're so lucky to have the Bless family on board with us. Tyler is head coach, his Hall of Fame dad. Mark is an assistant coach. After all the great years he had at Mooresville and Avon, um, and I think the program is going to get better over the years. I think it's going to get better next year, but we have a shot to get a huge program-defining win here in a couple of weeks, and we just have to be ready to hit the ground running on all cylinders. You know, um, and the last, after last week's game when I was really discouraged, I thought, gee, Whiteland rushed for nearly 300 and Whiteland rushed for nearly 350 yards on us. I don't think we have a chance. But then it hit me, um, come to think of it, the Indianapolis Colts, when they lost that game late in the '06 season to Jacksonville, at Jacksonville, when the Jaguars rushed for 375 yards, I thought they didn't have a chance then. We came back, we peaked at the right time, and won the Super Bowl. So many of Peyton's teams before that had peaked too early. That team, for once, peaked at the right time. And, you know, um, we got to the playoffs, and we were up against some great running backs like Larry Johnson, Jamal Lewis, um, and you know, and that 375 yards um, that we gave up to Jacksonville was a distant memory. So I hope the Quakers enter the playoffs 2 weeks from tonight, playing their best football of the season. And if they do that, then we can do it. We can beat the number one team in Class 5A, the undefeated New Palestine Dragons, four-time state champions in the last 11 years. And if we do that, then we will play the winner of the Cathedral Anderson game, which you can be about 99.99999% sure will be Cathedral. But we'll worry about that, after after the New Palestine game is done. So I just want these kids to go get a good night's sleep tonight and then come back ready to start thinking about New Palestine tomorrow and ready to just kick some major donkey 2 weeks from tonight and play to bring their A-plus game for all 48 minutes and play the game of their lives when it counts the most. Well, what I mean is play the game of their lives all 48 minutes, because this is the game that they've played that counts more than any other that they've played up to this point in their lives. So I hope I didn't confuse you too much. So please get out here if you can. Let's fill the bleachers with thousands and thousands of crazed Quaker fans making a lot of noise and cheering these kids on and letting them know that you believe in them as they try to get to one of the biggest wins in program history. So once again, your final score here tonight at Plainfield, your Plainfield Quakers 14, the Martinsville Artesians 7. The Quakers enter the season at the Quakers the Quakers into the regular season at 7-2, and the Martinsville Artesians in the regular season at 3-6. Martinsville opens the um, playoffs 1 week from tonight at Greenwood. Plainfield opens the season 2 weeks from tonight, hosting um, New Palestine. Well, this concludes our broadcast. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I cordially invite you to do so again 2 weeks from tonight at 6:45 for the pregame show as your Plainfield Quakers open the playoffs against the four-time state champion New Palestine Dragons. Until then, for audiosportsonline.com, I'm Steve McAtee reminding you there is a difference only you can make. You know, it's a tough game, but we pulled it out. Yeah, yeah. So gonna have a tough team in 2 weeks. Just gotta show up and give it their best shot. And wow. I do. Well, look like this.